Yeah, I thought about that one too. Who did the Facebook shout out?
Me.
Okay. I thought about that too. I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Squishy, your camera. Turn it to your
Yeah,
left.
I thought about that one too. Who did the
That
Facebook
way?
shout out?
Me.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be your
I
left.
thought about that too.
Well, yeah,
and
but
that'd
we
be kind of cool.
tend to have issues on which is left.
Squishy,
and right.
you tend to have issues on which way is left.
Yeah,
and right.
because you have told me.
Yes.
Turn it
Okay.
to your
That would be-
left.
I thought
and
about
you're
that
like,
too.
oh, yeah,
That'd be
right.
kinda
We
cool.
tend to have issues on which is left.
Squishy,
and right.
you tend to have issues on which way is left.
Yeah,
and right.
because you have told me.
Yes.
Turn it to your
Okay.
left.
I thought
and
about
you're
that
like,
too.
oh, yeah,
That'd be
right.
kinda
We
cool.
tend to have issues on which is left.
Squishy,
and right.
you tend to have issues on which way is left.
Yeah,
and right.
because you have told me.
Yes.
Turn it to your
I
left.
thought
and
about
you're
that
like,
too.
oh, yeah,
That'd be
right.
kinda cool.
Hershey's, no, not Hershey's.
Squishy, you tend to have issues.
Reese's ice
Yeah,
cream.
because you have told me.
Oh,
Turn it to your
yeah,
left.
I thought
and
that
you're
was
like,
awesome.
oh,
But the
yeah,
bad thing was, so
Squishy, you tend to have issues.
Reese's ice cream.
She goes and takes her test for her, what is
Permit?
it? Permit. Yeah. And, so we all get there, right? And Rebecca's like, oh, what are you all doing here? And we're like, well, surprise. We're eating cake for your birthday. She's like, oh, I failed my permit test. And we're all like, wah, wah, wah. Like, Grandma was like, what? You can't drive? Yeah.
That's
So,
fun.
yeah. It was,
So, Rocio, do you hear me okay?
yeah, you sound great, man. How do I sound?
Fine.
I don't know, you sound kind of like Espo.
Jeez.
There's
So,
nothing we can do about that, though.
So I was listening to last week's episode. I thought we killed it. Like, I really enjoyed last week's
So,
episode.
are we going to have to cancel the show then because we totally killed it?
It's dead. The show's dead.
The more we can do.
We're gonna have to reboot and start over. We gotta start over. You all, Zeroshu, you look gorgeous.
But say he's clearly not watching video.
Yeah.
He says you sound gorgeous.
Yes, exactly.
Zero
We
looks
have-
gorgeous with his orange
we have-
lettering.
We have that face for podcasting. I actually trimmed my beard a little bit today, just for the podcast. I wanted to look my best.
Okay,
So what do you think, Squishy?
Chicken. What?
Yeah, came to it. What do you think, Squishy, of the Twitter?
Oh, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's not exact, but I mean they didn't know.
so the question
like,
is, did they really play?
no, oh no, not at all. So they had a quinceañera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? For her cousin over the summer. And I guess her family came up from Mexico and like she was like, you know, that's a disco ball and then there's a cake and all this stuff and I was like, wow, this
That
is
looks so much like
incredible.
Bearzan.
Well, you know what I mean? Like I was like, wow, that's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they're in the hot tub and
yeah.
Is that what that
And
is?
I was- that's what I asked her. I said, so what are these people doing? She was like, oh, they're in the hot tub. And I was like, oh, what are these people doing? Well, they're in love. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's her aunt and uncle. And then I said, well, who's this? She said, well, that's the person that dressed like the Wicked Witch. And I was like, what is going on? What's that? That's a disco ball. Well, who's that? That's a princess. And I was like, acceptable. And then I was like, is this Malcazar over here? And she was like, who's that? I said, it's Malcazar.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to tell that story again.
I will.
Are we going to have
I
that
will.
picture available somewhere?
It's on. I'll pull it up on the stream when I.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we got to use that one. So Squishy, you can take credit that way. You know. How funny.
Shout out for
Alright,
Espo.
Let me make
See me no
sure.
more. Hello.
What's up, guys?
You know, I never figured out that name until Vestidy said it like a couple weeks ago. Because I'm so used to just like, I look at the letters and see if I recognize the person based on what letters are there, not based on what the name says. If that makes any sense.
How we doing on time? Are we ready?
Yeah. Wait on you.
Oh, I'm ready to go.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I did. I tried to get all my. I tried to help out as much as I could.
And you may want to move your keyboard away from your mic again.
Sorry. Okay, is that okay? My mic's a little ways away.
It is so far.
Okay, great. I'll move my keyboard over here a little more.
Just your desk is picking up a lot of noise still.
That is weird. Like, I don't know. I'll try not to move much
Are we
around.
pretending there's music tonight?
Yes.
I'm a good pretender.
I will be working on that one day to get that working again.
By the way,
Right.
let me try it once more, but yeah, I can't open Blizzard launcher.
You opened it earlier.
Yeah, I did open it earlier, and I can't anymore. So I don't know if they're down or if it's just me. Because
Trying it right
I
now.
closed out everything and tried to open it, and it wouldn't open.
It may be open in the background still.
I checked; it's not open.
It'll be listed as BattleNet.
Yeah, there was nothing open.
Mine opened.
Ah,
I
that's
tell
not.
you, you know what you need to do? Just reformat your machine.
That'll fix it every time.
Dude, you don't know how bad I need to reformat. I haven't reformatted in like over a year.
Speaking of playing some fat beats, did you see the video today of the guys playing emo music with the chickens, the rubber chickens?
What?
You know, the chickens that they use on Mythbusters to do the chicken bomb?
Like rubber chickens that sound like dog toys?
Yeah, those things, yeah. There's a video of four guys playing a emo song using just those chickens.
Did you see?
It's
Did you see the news? Did you see my school on the news today?
No,
We made national news.
really?
Yeah, we have. Well, our school was built in 1924, so we have lead in our water, and they haven't fixed it yet.
Oh,
Yeah, it was bad. Like there was a news helicopter circling our school today, and two news vans. And of course, I'm walking outside. My principal runs out to me, and she's like, "Espo, no,
don't say anything."
No, you
Yeah.
cannot talk to them." Because she saw my face. You know, I said, "News! Ah! Just you're right up my alley." And I started walking towards him, and she like runs out and grabs me. "Don't talk to them." I was like, okay. I said, "But this could be my chance."
Like 15 minutes of fame. You should say, yeah. And I was drinking the water, and I was like, what? And you know what? And I was thinking, like, what?
It makes my guns big. Urgh. They're like all crazy. Do you teach here? No.
Then what are you doing here? Oh, just strolling around for a while.
I just creep around at this elementary school, man.
Yesterday, I had my guns with me.
You always carry two guns with you.
That's right. Always carry two guns. Let's do a podcast about Hearthstone.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Zero.
Zero. That's funny.
This is definitely pre-show.
Yes, definitely pre-show.
Definitely pre-show. Let's not mention my school in the news on our podcast. I'm sure my principal would not be happy.
Yeah, and pumping yourself full of lead, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to Legend of the Innkeeper. I'm Fastidious.
And I am Squishy Dragon.
I am Espo.
Okay.
It threw me off because like, she opened it up like I do, and I was like, wait a second, she did it like me. And oh, you threw me off, Squishy.
gotta shake up the routine sometimes.
Touche. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. It's been a
Awesome.
pretty cool week and Labor Day weekend, so we had a little extra time to play a bit and do what we could do. So lots of good stuff, lots of things to do, lots of things to talk about. And we had a last wing open, so that proved challenging, I will say, finally. I have to say pretty much every wing this week in this adventure has not been challenging for me. on regular mode, I should say. In previous adventures, there were some that were a little more difficult, and you had to go after them a couple times. But most of the battles in this whole adventure, I've been able to do one shot it. And yes, it's been 6 months, a little more experience with it, more cards we have to play with. But at the same time, I think it was kind of easier than most of the other adventures. So, anyways, so this week, what do we do? Anybody want to jump out there and start?
Yeah.
No? Okay, I guess not. Squishy, you're it.
Okay. Well, as most people know, I'm a little behind on the wings, but I finished the first wing. I'd finished the prologue earlier, but this week I did, what was it, the Magic Mirror and the chess game.
Chessboard.
Chessboard. So that was pretty fun. I started off with the Magic Mirror, and I read what his ability was, and I was like, okay, so I need to do, minions that have like no text, because he's gonna take all my minions and put them on the board. So I made this deck and tried it, and it didn't really work. I was like, oh, okay, I need to do a bunch of low cost minions that have no text, because he's gonna take all my minions. So I put down a card, he summons a copy of it. So I played the game. I put down minion because I hadn't put down a minion last time because I had mostly like spells and such, and found out that I summon whenever I play a 1/1 copy of. So I was like, oh, they really should have clarified that. It was really confusing the way they had it written, I felt. So then I was like, well, this changes everything. I can just play whatever I want. But I ended up winning with that deck anyways. So
Cool.
Congrats.
turned out pretty good.
And then how did the chessboard go?
Chessboard, I won it for my first game, so that's went pretty good.
What did you think about the whole how it worked with putting them
not
across from each
bad.
other?
I finally figured out that I should actually have one less, because like we both had our board full, and then he got rid of one of mine. I was like, oh great, now I have to put another one down. And then I was like, oh duh, if I have one less than him and he's got full board, I will hit all of them twice. So then I was like, it kind of clicked. Kind of had lag, and then it clicked.
Lag in the brain?
Yep, brain lag, and clicked a little bit later than I probably should have, but I was like, oh, now I get this, and that was easy.
Well, cool.
But it was really annoying because sometimes he'd kill off the wrong one, and so I'd have my guy that heals, and then a minion, then the guy who heals, and a minion. I was like, no, there needs to be 2 minions in between my 2 healers so that they all get maximum healing effect, and it was driving me nuts when I didn't have that. So, yeah.
Perfectionist.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, good. It sounds like you had a good time with that.
Yeah.
We discovered that you accidentally didn't purchase the whole thing, but you purchased just the first wing, so
Yeah, so.
we're going to have to figure that part out, but that's okay. And I think we were talking about it before the show, about how she finished the first wing, and then she was getting ready to move into the next wing to unlock it. And she says, I'm just going to keep working through these because I'm having fun doing this. It's just I like doing it at my own pace. I like not being timed. I like having it's a lot easier to work through it. So I think it's a good thing that you do the adventures and are having a good time with it. So
For sure. We need more adventures.
well, good thing is that there are a bunch of adventures out there for you to play.
The bad
Oh.
thing is I know I'm going to finish them. It's like I want an infinite amount of adventures.
You can play them over again, and you can try them on heroic mode.
Eh.
So the coolest thing about adventure, I mean, there's so many cool things about adventures. Going back and playing it with the new cards.
True.
Like just, doing all these cool things that when they made that Max Ramus adventure, they weren't thinking of all these new cards. So it's almost like you can try to figure out ways to break it, right? And so that's another cool thing about it too.
Well, I'll go. Yeah.
You sure about that?
No.
You
How about
got a little on your face there.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'll go next. How about that?
There we go.
Well, I did get through the entire last wing, got the class challenges done, finished the game completely, beat it all, except for
You beat Hearthstone.
I beat Hearthstone. That's right. I'm now going to go back and challenge heroics. I did do a little heroics and didn't have a lot of success with it, so I'm going to go at it with a fresh start. I know it's possible because Roshio did it. So, and he filmed it too, so I recorded it so I can go look. Um,
You made
Since I'm
that
the
sound like
expert.
since he did it, anyone can do it. That's the way you made it.
I think
Not
we
that
all
you,
know that's not quite true. He is an
not that,
amazing
not that
first-time player.
you watched his videos. Not that you watched his videos, but that oh well, if he could do it, then anybody can. That's exactly how I took that.
The way that was actually a segue into the statement that I wanted to say is, hey, those guys over at Hero Power, they recorded their process going through heroic and defeating it and put it up on YouTube. So if you're a patron, you can go watch that. I don't know if it's open for everybody yet, but those guys are bringing it so that you can learn how to beat these things too. So go support those guys too. Hero Power.
There's rumors that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Support
And-
Hero Power and get a free plushie.
Whoa! Oh no! Oh my!
Oh my.
Only problem is Blizzard doesn't make any plushies yet.
Yes, they do actually.
They make
have
one.
No, they have
for-
7 or 8 of them now.
Well, they have
Yeah.
one for Winston, one for Brightwing, and I want to say that's kind of it.
They have one
Everybody
for
quick
Hearthstone.
rush to Blizzard,
They have one for Hearthstone too.
like
By the way,
the actual Hearthstone.
The Hero Power
Yeah.
videos open up 2 weeks after they release it to the patrons. So in a couple weeks, you'll be able to get them all. And also, there's somebody I know who's recording their progress as they go through each wing and posting them to YouTube whenever he finishes it. So that may be Espo, possibly. So you can get those on our legendoftheinnkeeper.com/YouTube account.
Yeah.
Those.
Again, mine are also 2 weeks after release, but not because I'm releasing them to other people first, but because life.
Yeah.
You guys know how passionate I am about these adventures, and if anybody that knows me knows the struggle I am going through right now. I want to play these so bad, but I'm not because I don't have the time to really give you that initial reaction. So I have the first 2 wings finished. I think I know the prologue's uploaded. I know the entire first wing is uploaded. I think the second wing, I'll probably get that up tonight, which is Tuesday the 6th of September. And then, of course, I'll record the other 2 wings and get those out as soon as possible. But yeah, mine are 2 weeks behind, but not because of patrons or anything like that. Just because trying to build a house, trying to
No,
teach.
Zerosho says it's because of your internet.
And this is true, too. So it
It
actually...
takes you 2 weeks to actually play
Dude,
the wing.
I uploaded that one. So the one video was, I think, 20 minutes, and I want to say it took like 6 hours,
What?
like all night. Yeah, I woke up at 4 to work out. Oh, by the way, I'm getting ready to race too. I got a few races coming up, so I'm doing that too. But I woke up at 4 to work out, and I was like, oh my gosh, it has 10 minutes remaining, and I started it at like 10 o'clock when I went to bed. I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well,
anyway.
the other thing happened is Legion came out, World of Warcraft,
Mhm.
and I did jump into that and played a little bit of that this weekend. Yeah, it was. I have to say, Blizzard, you've done an incredible job with this new expansion. It is extremely well done. The quest lines are amazing. I've been totally hooked and impressed and loving every bit of it. I looked down, moving around doing my stuff and looked down last night. I was like, wow, I've actually made it 105. I thought I was 103. And I'm just moving along in my own pace. Just having a good time, absorbing it all. And it's one of our listeners said in our Facebook group when we were talking about this a little bit about Legion. He said, "I'm actually going through and reading every single quest text. Before you get the quest, you hit accept, yeah, whatever, and then you go back and see what it is you have to do. Not in this one. I'm going through and reading every bit of it, going, okay, what's the purpose? Why am I doing this? What's the storyline and all that other stuff? So it's been a lot of fun. So." Pretty cool stuff. If you're even thinking about playing it, I would recommend it. If you've been along for the ride, this is really good. So,
And just an interjection, Blizzard does have 29 plushies, but half of them are stuffed dragons in different colors. So, I mean, dragons are all cool and such, but I don't know. They're a little monochromatic for me. They need, like, awesome colors and to be super soft and fluffy, and it just kind of stuffed. But hey, if you want Blizzard plushies, they do have some.
And for the record, Blizzard, she's going to be bringing money to BlizzCon for plushies, so they better be there. You've been warned.
You've been warned.
So that's about it for me. What about you, Espo?
Okay. Obviously, uploading a little bit of YouTube. Played a little bit of Legion. I think. What did I played with you guys, right?
Yep. Yeah, we played
Yeah.
the Demon Hunter.
Yeah, we did a little bit of the Demon
By
Hunter.
the
which
way,
was really-
I do want to make a comment about that experience.
Go ahead, dude. Because I'm sure that was a blast.
Have you ever seen that commercial with the cowboys herding cats? That's what it's like to play with Espo in this game. We're going down this path, going towards a point. Next thing you know, I'm like, where is Espo? Where is Espo? He goes, dude, did you see that guy over there? He looked at me funny. I'm going to go over there and ask him what's up. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's off, shooting off. And then Rez says, hey, look, there's a chest over here. And he takes off the other direction. And the problem is that in the Demon Hunter area, everybody looks the same. Their names over the characters are all green, just different shades of green if they're on your team or not. And I am just trying to keep track of these two, going, where did he go? And I just end up stopping, standing there going, I'm just going to wait here till I see their dots come back.
Yeah, so we played the other night. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of fun. I feel bad for you guys. Because I know how I am, and I know how... And my wife makes comment of this, too. She says, when Rez and I get together, it's not that our IQs drop, it's that our maybe attention span kind of dwindles. We just get... yeah.
Whenever you start a conversation saying, it's not that our IQs drop, but
What are you saying?
it's
Yeah,
hey,
so-
it's been scientifically proven that when you get a group of guys together, the IQ level drops. That's why a group of guys is called an
we
idiot.
don't... We
It's
don't
called a
need
what?
A group of guys is called an idiot.
There
A
we
group
go.
of girls is called a gaggle because we all talk. So
Well, you don't need a group. It's just Rez and I. That's all. So yeah, I played a little bit of Legion. Played some Hearthstone too. I played a lot of my. If you guys didn't tune into, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago. I was on Hero Power. We played what I called the Hush Hunter, which is secret. So it's a secret. But we played that, and I think we won 1 out of the 3. But
Oh, I did better when I did my show.
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. But I did not. And so I went ahead and played that on ladder and played. I want to say I played 15 games. The first 8 of which I won and went straight to 15, and then ended up losing the next 5 or so, and then 1, maybe 2 more. It was kind of ridiculous, but I had so much fun and completed a bunch of quests and had a good time. And then, like I said, I finished off Wing 2, uploaded those videos, and played a little bit of Hearthstone. Played the Tavern Brawl, which I'll talk a little bit about later, and that's about it.
Well, that reminds me. I did want to say when I played Hearthstone this week, not playing in the adventure, I actually was really enjoying playing a specific class. But guess which one?
Mage.
No.
Whoa.
I'm gonna go paladin,
No.
Warlock.
No.
shaman,
Nope.
Hunter.
Nope.
not rogue.
Yes.
What?
I've been playing Rogue. It's been a Yogg Noth deck with the dude that summons one of your random minions for 1/1. Cimaros? No, it's one of the new guys. Help me here.
Well, magic mirror. No, yeah, magic mirror does that. So
No, it's
I know that's not what you mean.
it's the dude. It's the show the
I'm so confused.
opera guy.
Are you talking
Oh.
about Barnes?
Yeah,
Barnes.
thank you,
That's the
Barnes.
name. I
I
almost
was
had
like,
it.
what is going on
Oh,
there?
yeah.
What are
Like
you trying to
Bucky.
do?
What's the word?
So Barnes is in that deck too. And I'm telling you, if I had to pick a card right now that is one of my favorite cards in the entire adventure, I'd have to say right now, it's the pirate.
Really?
What's his name? I'm gonna go blank here again.
Yeah, go
What's
blank.
going on?
It's like a buccaneer or something. Oh, what's it called?
Come on, yell at your radios.
Swashbuckler.
Dude, I don't.
Yeah,
I
Swashbuckler.
I don't know what.
Swashbuckler. Yeah.
Swashbuckler. He's one of my favorites.
Did you not play this deck? It's
You're-
your favorite card, but you couldn't remember his name. That's right, because you don't read the cards.
That's right. I don't read the cards.
He knows there's a pirate on it. What more does he need to know?
It's just, part of the problem is too that I'm playing on my phone a lot of times at work during lunch. So, text is small. You click on it, it comes up bigger. But yeah, Swashbuckler. He's like one of my favorites because he's stealing cards from your opponent. And there's that and several other components that you're using to pull cards out of your opponent's hands with a rogue. And I'm just, it's a priest rogue, so to speak. It's that priest thing I like, which is stealing your opponent's cards in the rogue deck. And it's just absolutely a blast. So, anyways, I just thought I'd mention that because I thought you all might be a little surprised that one of my favorite classes right now is rogue because of that.
I am.
That's really cool.
It's funny
No,
because
that's
I
cool.
started out learning rogue, and now I'm doing hunter, and now I think rogue's kind of lame. I was like, why would I do rogue? Like,
Well, rogue was before this adventure, and now with this adventure, I'm like totally hooked on it. It's like, this is fun.
try some rogue.
Okay, so are you done, Espo? Did I cut you off enough?
Yeah, you cut me off plenty. It was good. It's all good.
Okay. Well, news this week. We did have one little bit of news that came out today that apparently there was a conversation somebody was throwing out about Arena and how it stinks and how there needs to be some love given to Arena players and things need to be changed. So Ben Brode actually answered that comment on Reddit, and he mentioned a few things that were quite interesting about how, again, reiterating that Blizzard's reading Reddit. They're going through all these posts. They like to hear feedback. Not all the feedback is accurate because you don't know everything going on in the back of the game and that type of thing. But one other thing he does mention is they have over 70 people working on Blizzard now and on Hearthstone, which is kind of cool to know they've grown that much. But he did mention some possible Arena changes. And one of the lines he said in there said this: Arena balance is one thing that has received a lot of attention lately, or recently, and it has spawned a lot of discussions internally. We had plans for tools that would let us make changes in the medium long term, but the online discussion has made us stop and rethink our timelines and options. And that's honestly great. Hoping to have something to share on this in a couple weeks. So we may see some interesting things coming down the road here fairly soon in relation to Arena. So it'll be interesting to see what they have up their sleeves.
Speaking of Blizzard and things that are coming, real quick update on Sombra, the new character in Overwatch. Basically, it sounds like they have told us to just sit patient and wait as far as getting more clues. There is some sort of countdown timer, which was counting down and has now reached the end and is now counting up.
Oh, whoops.
So, yeah, it sounds like basically it's going to hit like 23%, I think, at BlizzCon, which she is the 23rd character to enter Overwatch. So 23 has had a big part in her character. So it kind of sounds like we won't really know much more, possibly until BlizzCon. So.
Okay, great.
BlizzCon is a place where they tend to give you some news.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put it past them to save it until then.
And FYI,
I'm
that
impressed
was
with her
your
detective skills.
unexpected Overwatch update
Yes.
out of the blue. Sorry.
Sorry, did I hack the show there?
Yeah, you did. It's a somber hack. So. Okay, so back to Hearthstone.
Wait. Somber or sombre?
Sombra.
Sombra?
Sombra. Yes.
Moving on.
No, he
Okay.
needs to know this. This is important information.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to
Yes.
any more news?
Nope, that's it.
Dude, you got to tell me about these wings because I apologize again. I've been doing the real life thing. Let me just say.
I have to say, I am totally impressed, yet shocked, that you have gone this long without digging into this adventure.
Dude, it is so difficult. So difficult. You guys know my passion for this
Yes.
game, and you know my real extreme passion for the adventure modes. It is killing me, but I have a larger passion for our audience and wanting to give them the experience that they got to see, So,
The
yeah,
Espo experience.
I'm trying. It's so difficult, but
It's
and
like it's like trying to bottle up a little bit of Espo and put it in a bottle.
maybe. Maybe. But it's not too bad because
Well, if you were
I
so
don't
busy,
have time.
yeah,
I
if you were so
literally
busy,
don't
you'd
have
be biting at the bit to get
exactly. Like I am literally like falling through my bed at night, and then at 4 a.m. I am like up and just gone, like rainbows and unicorns and glitter, just going crazy at 4 a.m.
into it. Thought you
Like
didn't
this
like
morning,
glitter.
I don't. That's what makes me
That's
run every morning
concerning.
at 4 a.m.
It's chasing you, the glitter.
That's right. That's right. So push-ups, sit-ups, no glitter involved. Running, definitely glitter involved. So, but yeah, I've been so busy, and I think that's why it's not that difficult. But it also makes me feel bad because everybody's talking about it, and yeah. So,
Well, okay then. Well then let's dig into it a little bit. This wing did come out. It's called the Spire. And let me flip over real quick for our stream.
This is the last wing, correct?
This is the last wing available.
Reach the top.
You have reached the top of the Spire, and there you find some interesting things. We'll say that. Okay, the very first boss you face is the Shade of Iran. And the Shade of Iran, he has 30 health, and his hero power is Ley Lines. It's a passive hero power where both players have spell damage of 5, plus 5. And the interesting thing about his deck is that his deck is almost all spells, except for Mad Scientist is the only minion I believe that's in those decks. So he is taking full advantage of this spell damage. I went in there with a couple decks, mostly my rogue deck, and was able to get through it fairly easily. The extra spell damage definitely helped, but when you're throwing out minions, he's taking them out left and right. I mean, he's just constantly taking those minions out, because most of the spells he has will do 3 to 5 points of damage, plus 5. So almost anything you put on the board does not last whatsoever.
Well, that's annoying.
It can be a little bit of an annoying process, so you just have to know that going into it. So if you don't have minions on the board for him to hit, though, then he's going after your face. So it's kind of this mix. You kind of got to balance, have a little bit of spells, a little bit of minions.
So in that case, should you have a bunch of low, cheap minions to throw out?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay.
So it is pretty cool, though. He is whiny, we'll say, complaining about loud noise in the castle or in the tower. And then when you finish him and beat him, you get Medivh's Valet, which is a 2/2/3 minion battle cries. If you control a secret, deal 3 damage, and this is a mage card.
well, I like this card. I've said it more than once, more than twice, a lot of times that if you have a 2-mana card and it has 3 health, I like it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because it has a monkey with a flaming paw.
That's true too, but we already talked about that in a
Yeah.
past episode. We don't need to go into detail about the art. I want to talk about the big butt on this monkey. So so this is cool because obviously mages have the secrets. If you control a secret, deal 3 damage. We've talked about how it's the monkey throwing the fireball, which is even, come on, that's cool. Who doesn't want to see a monkey throw a fireball? There was a card in the WoW TCG that it was Furious George.
Oh.
And
Wow.
it was a minion card.
I think Zeroshio made that card.
Yeah. Well, it was 1 mana, and you would play it, and it couldn't attack, but you could tap it. And I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the physical card games, but to tap a card, you're turning it sideways, and that means you're using it. So you couldn't attack with it, but you could use it, and its power was deal 3 damage to the
Oh, really?
to the enemy hero. And it was pretty cool. And so what it was, he was holding a I want to say like six sticks of dynamite. So it was Furious George, obviously, a monkey holding 6 sticks of dynamite with the fuse, and you would tap it, and he would obviously throw the dynamite, doing 3 damage to our hero. It was really, really cool. You play it like an aggressive hunter deck, and I really enjoyed that card. So this kind of reminds me of that. I wish this was a neutral card. I wish it was neutral.
True.
But then again, it might make Hunter super broken.
That's true. Well,
So-
one question comes up: is it, do people use this on turn 2, or do you do this as a tempo play or a play that you play later on for value? And I would say value. This is a card that you're going to want to save to when you have a spell that you can use to cast. A secret that you can cast on the same turn. This is similar to some of the other cards that you have that trigger on a secret. So I would definitely say hold on to this one till turn 5, or even better yet, turn 5 with the minion that brings out a free secret. So you get a minion and a secret. So things like that. Or
Yeah,
even later and get 2 secrets out and get 2 shots of 3 damage.
I mean, playing it early is definitely going to be a benefit because you're going to have other minions on the board that have less than 3 health, so it can possibly give you tempo that way by getting rid of one of their minions, and then you have a 2/2/3 on the board, which is never a bad thing.
But actually,
I just
keep in mind this is a battle cry.
Mhm.
So when you play it, the secret has to be in play already,
yes,
and it only does 3 damage. So you're not going to get multiple triggers with multiple secrets.
yeah.
So
So the earlier you play this, the better.
So
But it's diff. Go ahead.
You're saying if you have 2 secrets in play and you play this card, you won't get 6 damage.
correct.
Okay.
You just have to have a secret in play. Doesn't matter how many.
So there's no way to double this without like 2.
Yes.
There is
Yes,
one way to
Brandon.
double this.
Come on, tell him, Bastidius. I know you want to. I
I'm
love
not
that
going
she
there.
led you into this. Brown Bronzebeard. There you
Yes,
go.
yes, yes.
Give him a
Squishy, you were a
beard.
genius. Squishy, you were a genius. Look at you, setting your dad up for success.
I wasn't going to go there.
Your
The monkey
daughter,
needs the beard. Come on now.
She got your back, dude. She got your back.
Okay.
Love it.
Well, the other card you get from this wing is Spirit Claws. It's a 1/1/3 weapon. It says has a +2 attack while you have spell damage.
So
This is
Now they're
interesting.
bringing X-Men in.
Actually, these look just like the claws that my elemental shaman has.
And that's kind of what I mean. This is Heroes of Warcraft, so of course they're going to bring stuff in from Warcraft, and that's
Totally
what.
X-Men.
Yeah,
Can't
okay.
you see Wolverine claws right there?
I don't know about that.
But they're a lot cooler because they're
Maybe I
spirit
tell you
claws.
what.
They're
Maybe
blue.
maybe Savage Wolverine. Maybe Savage Wolverine. But so that one of the regular common totems that comes out of your hero power is spell power. So that that's beneficial. And then I believe there is a new minion out of Karazhan that its battle cry is summon, or what? Maybe it's when you cast a spell, summon a random generic. I don't know what do they call it?
Basic
Basic. That's right.
totem.
Basic totem. So I mean,
So you have 2 chances for getting a totem out on the board that has spell power.
and a 1 mana 3/3 weapon is
Mhm.
not a bad. So and then you got Rock Biter to throw on this, for a turn. So it's kind of cool. I like
Okay,
it,
it can add up.
Yep.
Okay.
and it's common, so that's good too. Because if you're playing Shaman in Arena, you might get this, and it's kind of tough to get weapons in Arena, but this is common, so you might see it more often.
Mm-hmm. Well, then after you defeat him, then you move on to the second boss, which is Nether Spite.
Oh yeah.
I figured you might like Nether Spite coming up. Nether Spite has a unique mechanic to it. It's very cool. This is one of the ones that they showcased on the preview when they launched, or at least announced the game, and had it come forward saying it's coming in a few weeks. He has 30 health, and his hero power is called Nether Rage, and it gives his hero +3 attack this turn whenever it's used. The interesting thing about this battle is that he has 2 portals on the board. There's a blue portal and a red portal, with beams going from the portal around the board back up to the opponent hero. And what it says on the blue portal is the character in the blue beam only takes 1 damage at a time. The red portal says the character in the red beam has Wind Fury. So at the beginning of the game, your opponent has both of those beams hitting him, Nether Spite, and so basically he can do Wind Fury and he can only take 1 damage at a time. And of course on his hero power, what's he going to do? He's going to give himself 3 attack. So that's 6 damage he has available to him. The key to it is that when you place your minions down, you want to put them next to these portals that block the beam. And then those minions get those bonuses on them temporarily while they're in that beam. So it's a pretty cool mechanic. So the first thing I usually do is put something on the side that takes the blue beam away so that he's no longer being only limited to 1 damage at a time. And then you block the other one that gets Wind Fury so that way you don't have him getting those boosts. Pretty cool stuff though. I mean, it's definitely cool.
So you're building your own deck.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when you defeat him, you get the Nether Spite Historian. A 2-mana 1/3 minion, says battle cry, if you're holding a dragon, discover a dragon.
Very, very cool. She's good stuff. Again, we see
Dragons
that
are
3
always
health. Yes. And we see that 2 mana, 3 health. I mean, you can't deny that. That's pretty cool. Of course, it's a battle cry.
Yep.
So you got to have that dragon in your hand. Again, if you don't have Bronn on board, it's only going to happen once. So, but man, discovering a dragon, that's pretty good. There's a lot of good dragons.
If you have a dragon on the board, it does not work, correct?
Correct. Has to hold it in your hand.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And the other card you get is the Bookworm. 6 mana, 3/6 dragon, battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, destroy an enemy minion with 3 attack or less.
I don't know about this guy. He's a dragon, but I just don't see it. I don't see this being used a lot. I don't know, Vestidus, what do you think? You
Well, if you're going to be doing a dragon deck, you'll probably want to include him in there because it's a good activator for the previous card. It's got a big butt.
It's 6 mana, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
It
Okay.
depends on your deck.
Well, it's a good battle, regardless of the cards you get, and I actually like this one a lot. This is one of the more unique battles that we had in this adventure, and definitely one worth checking out.
Oh, yeah, when I saw this previewed, I was like, oh, man, that's so awesome. Because, of course, throwback to the old Karazhan where you were battling Nether Spite. If you were not cheating and bringing him out into the hallway, you had to deal with... do you remember doing that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, and the cool thing about this is that in the battle itself, you had the beams that you had to block. The same type of concept where you're going through them, getting him to set these beams to take the buffs off him. So I think it's awesome that they found a way to get the same effect in Hearthstone as you were able to do in that game. So,
well, so we had Elevex before, which was all
Eloe.
Eloe?
Loe.
I thought she was a professional player for Tempo Storm, right? So, in League of Explorers, we had all new characters, right? I think there was only like one character, Bronn Bronzebeard, that was from the World of Warcraft. The others were made up. Is that correct? Maybe there was another one. So it was all brand new content, which was cool. I really, really enjoyed that. But I also like this, of course it's Karazhan. I mean, who doesn't love Karazhan? Who doesn't remember, so many people cut their teeth on raiding in Karazhan. So very, very cool throwback. But I, also want to give a shout out to the team for what they did with Elevex, because all new content, still very, very cool. I know you're shaking your head, League of Explorers. So, it's just so cool. Again, on my soapbox about these adventures. Blizzard just is doing something right. And I don't know if they're going to do like original content one adventure and then, throwback content for another one. This is so cool. And this battle is just, it's going to make people want to like say, man, that maybe they'll get on YouTube and they'll be like, I want to see this encounter,
Yeah.
And granted, back in the day, the Nether Spite encounter probably wasn't on YouTube much because that was, pre-giant YouTube viewer audience. But I'm sure people are, still running it today and recording it on YouTube. So you can either go back,
Solo.
yeah, you can solo it very easy. But soloing it, you don't get that experience,
Right, yep.
though. You know what I mean? Of going in there and you're like this huge, vast room with this giant dragon and these portals all around the room, and you got to position yourself between the portal and the dragon. And it's like, who's going to do this? Well, Rez is going to take care of the green portal. Espo's going to take care of the blue portal. Vastidius, you're taking care of the red portal. Squishy, you take care of that other portal. And then we need the tank on. We need the healer here. And it's just, you don't get that experience soloing. So I really like the way they made this battle, this encounter in Hearthstone, because you're blocking those portals. You're having to be strategic. Just like with the chess battle, where I thought, man, this is making me really, really think about placement, And I like that about this adventure because it's, like I said about all these adventures, and if you listen to last week's episode, I was listening to it today, and you hear Squishy mention at about 14 minutes in, she talks about how she actually built a deck to battle this encounter, not this encounter, but a encounter. So adventure modes, getting people that aren't used to building decks to build decks. Adventure modes, getting people to learn about spatial recognition with these cards, right?
Yep.
So normally you just throw a card on the board. Oh, it happened to land between two other minions. Okay. Oh, I'm going to throw it all the way to the left. I'm going to throw it all the way to the right. I don't know why, but I'm doing it. So one, adventure modes made Squishy build a deck, which I was praising her in my truck today while listening. I was like, if you listen to the podcast, I flipped out. I was like, oh my gosh, you did it. I'm so proud of you. Today in my truck, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still so proud of her. Because I was like, you made my night. No, it was basically a week. You made my night. So,
I really love going into the adventures and playing it once through, or once or twice, doesn't matter, and figuring out what I need. Because I don't want to have to look it up and see what somebody else made and what worked. Because that feels like cheating. It's like, yeah, you can look up the quick answer, or you can figure it out yourself and have the experience of saying, I built this deck because I thought it would work, and maybe somebody else would say, what? I never thought of that, So.
Well, so you're maybe not learning, but you're building decks to beat the encounter. So maybe, yeah, you're learning a little bit. And then the whole spatial recognition thing with chess and now with Nether Spite, positioning these cards in certain ways, it's, and Romulo and Juliet. One side's taunt, one side's charge. So this adventure making people think about those things. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so I need to,
The chess game, I just made sure there was a pawn on the end, and then I wanted to get symmetrical with all my healers. So that's as far as spatial awareness. No.
Well, you were key.
No, you
key
just said
is,
it.
Though,
You were.
keeping a pawn on the end is one of the biggest keys to that battle.
What you just explained is exactly what I'm talking about. You were thinking. You were like, okay, I have to have a pawn on the end because he's going to kill it, and I don't want him to kill my bishop. So yes, I have to use my hero power to move my cards. Instead of ignoring the hero power, you were like, no, I really need to do that at the end of my turn. So
the hero power does what?
Jeez. Oh no. Okay, can we edit that out?
It says discover a card.
Right.
So it shows you 3 cards. You pick one.
Yes. No, you're right. Oh, I'm so sorry. Zerosho, thank you, Zerosho. So the last time I played it was heroic.
Yes.
And yeah.
Oh.
So Squishy, you are correct. You are. Okay. So yeah. Well. Okay.
See, you can be proud of her again.
I am. I'm so
You can
proud
be
of
proud of her again because she read the hero power.
She
I
did,
read the
well,
card.
and that's really, really good. But it also brings up another point. So heroic is a whole nother level.
Yep.
So it actually forces you to really extend that spatial awareness, that knowing where, that positioning. You know, you're actually having to use the hero power now, and you can, not only can you place cards down where you want them, but at the end of the turn or whenever, you can move them. So I mean, it's just, so the heroic is making you, you know, think even deeper. And I can't shout out, you know, the Hearthstone developers enough for doing this, because they're helping people learn how to play the game. I mean, honestly, like Squishy, how many things do you think you learned by just playing adventures?
Quite a lot. I learned better understanding how to build a deck. I learned to always read the cards. um,
And hero powers. And
hero powers, yes. I always check the hero power before I go into a new battle.
Well, you know what Zeroshi always says? Don't forget to use your hero power. But before you use it, make sure you read it.
There you have it.
They aren't as casual as us, so we have to preface his saying with, you know, read. Don't forget to read and use your hero power. And or use your hero power. Shout out to Zeroshio and hero power. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox now. Squishy, still so proud of you. You made my week. But yeah, just awesome job, Blizzard. Awesome job on this adventure. Throwback to Nether Spite and that great encounter. And, you know, thanks for...
Are you ready for the next boss now?
Dude, well, wait, okay, we talked about the 2 cards that you got from Nether Spite,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, moving on. I apologize.
Okay. So, well, the reason I asked is because you don't know what happened.
Well, no, I don't. And I mean, you can, you know, you're not going to spoil it, because I mean, I'm going to play it either way, and I'm going to be surprised either way, because I just get excited. I'll probably forget about this conversation anyway.
Yeah.
So you listen to it tomorrow, you know, on the podcast.
Well,
So
I
anyways,
usually a little bit.
You start out with Morose saying, "Okay, we finally got to the portals." But you got the controller from Netherspite that controls the portals, and so
By
now
the
he's.
way, spoiler alert for those who don't know.
I think we've already spoiled a lot of things, so yeah, sorry if you.
They should know by now. This show.
We have a spoiler horn. There you go.
Okay.
The rubber chicken.
Yeah. Okay, so you start out with Morose getting control of the portals, and he's going to open a portal, and he opens it to the wrong place. And out pops an orc opponent, Nazra Wildaxe. And so she pops out, she's got 15 health, she's a warrior, and you have to battle her, while he tries to figure out what went wrong and how to get the portal open to the right place. It's an easy battle, no big deal. You know, you get through it fairly quickly. And then he says, okay, fine, I got it now. He opens another portal. This time he gets it to the right place. Out pops Medivh and Prince Malchezaar. And Medivh says, hey, I got to get to the party. Here, you take care of the demon. Oh, and you can borrow my staff. And then he takes off. So you're left alone to face Prince Malchezaar on your own with his staff. And the challenge begins. I will say real quickly, Nazra Wildaxe, she has 15 health, and she has a hero power that summons a 3/2 orc. So like I said, it's not a real big of a challenge on that one. I actually typically get her knocked out by turn 3. But Prince Malchezaar, he's a different story. He's got 30 health. He has a hero power called Legion, and every time he uses it, it summons a 6/6 Abyssal, which is a massive demon. And he is much tougher. And heroic mode is insane when you play this, because he summons 2 6/6 Abyssals. The one thing I will say is the staff Atesh, it's a 3-mana 1/3 weapon that says after you cast a spell, summon a random minion of that cost, and you lose 1 durability. At this point, by the way, when you finish defeating Nazra, and Prince Malchezaar comes out and lands on the board, you're still in the game playing where you're at. So you're on whatever turn you were at when you defeated her. He uses, the spell that wipes the board. Destroys everything.
Doom?
Nope, the other one. The Warlock.
Twisting Nether?
Yes, thank you. Twisting Nether.
Okay.
So he uses Twisting Nether, wipes out the entire board. So if you had any minions on the board, they're gone now. Thank you very much. So now, the interesting thing is if you play any cards that has a spell, it summons a minion that costs the same thing. But typically, when I'm in this battle, at least the first time around, I did not have any high level or high mana spells. So you're summoning a 1 or 2 or 3 cost minions when you're casting your spells. So it's kind of lame because of that. That's the one thing I will say I didn't like about the Atesh weapon. It's really kind of useless. I mean, you get 3 free minions out of it, but they weren't that great. So it's a great battle. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you get two bosses to go through, and it's a lot of a challenge. However, the interesting thing is, I'll give you a little piece of trivia I found out today. There are some strings in the code for the game when people were diving into it that revealed that there was a third boss that was being experimented with in this battle, and they believe it was the Titanic Watcher known as the Maiden of Virtue, which was another raid boss from Karazhan. But there's no data, there's no cards in the files, and somebody had asked Ben Brode about it. And he said, we experimented with many versions of this fight. So apparently there was another boss that was possibly going to work out in there, but never made it to the final. So there's your little tidbit.
Interesting.
Awesome.
So when you finish this battle, you end up with good old Medivh himself. Well, let me go back first. First you get Violet Illusionist.
There you go.
Violet Illusionist. She's a 3 mana, 4/3 minion. Says during your turn, your hero is immune.
You know, this could be interesting. Like, I think this would be pretty cool in like Rogue, right?
Yes.
Maybe conceal her to make her last a few extra turns. Obviously, you're going to be taking damage with Rogue because you have a weapon. So being immune with a weapon is always a good thing. I mean, I don't see any problems with that. Warrior might work. I'm just thinking Rogue because you can hide her well with the Rogue. There's a couple different spells that you can use.
True.
So yeah, I mean Warrior, you can taunt other things up to kind of hide her behind a taunt. Yeah, pretty cool. I like her. I'm gonna experiment a little bit with her and see what she can do. I think she'll be fun.
The other card you get is Prince Malchezaar. Or, if you really want to mess with his name, it's Prince Malchezaar.
This guy.
This guy. He's a little angry. He's got his fists up. He's ready to fight.
That's right.
He's
5 mana, 5 attack, 6 health.
Demon.
So this is really cool because when the game starts, you add 5 extra legendary minions to your deck. So 35 cards in your deck.
Yep.
That's what I really like about this card.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're going to get some crazy legendaries. But another cool thing, you know how I love those beginning players. You bought Karazhan, well you just got yourself 5 random legendaries with it too.
That's right.
You know, on top of the ones you already get. So that's kind of cool. I mean, as a new player, you get this card and you probably, you know, more than likely get to play with legendaries that you normally wouldn't have.
That's right.
So it's pretty cool.
So you're saying add this to every deck you make?
Yeah, why not, right?
Why not?
I mean,
Yep.
you're making your deck larger, you know, maybe make it a little bit control-y, you know, add a lot of board wipes, add some, you know, crowd control in there, and, you know, dig through your whole deck and get to those 5 extra legendaries that you don't have in your collection. Or maybe you do. Maybe you're going to get all Lore Walker Chose. That would be great. No, they can't be duplicates, correct?
I do not believe they can. I remember reading that somewhere.
I think so. I think you can't have duplicates, which is really cool. So, Prince Malchezaar, you make me happy because you make new players happy.
And then you get Medivh the Guardian.
That guy.
He's an 8 mana 7/7 minion. Battlecry, equip Atesh, Great Staff of the Guardian. And as we mentioned already, Atesh is a 3 mana 1/3 weapon. After you cast a spell, summon a random minion of that cost, lose 1 durability. I think that this may be a better card to use when you're building the deck than it was in this boss battle. So I didn't like it in here. It was kind of useless. I mean, you got an extra spell and all that stuff, but it wasn't like, oh, that's so awesome. It wasn't. I imagined a powerful weapon. I mean, it's Medivh's staff. It should have some major power to it, and it gives you this. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Didn't
But
impress me
how
that
often are
much.
you gonna have a 6 cost spell? You know,
If I craft a deck, it's gonna have a 6 cost spell in it.
right? But I'm saying like when you first get this, you're not gonna be throwing in 6 and 7 cost spells.
Well, I'm gonna be when I get this. I'm probably going to be holding on to it until the end when I can cast multiple spells
Correct.
and get full value out of it instead of having a situation where when I was playing in the boss battle, it was not as useful. So,
That's what I mean. Like in the boss battle, you're not gonna have 6 and 7 cost spells.
right.
I foresee like a Warlock Cho'Gall deck where you're not paying mana, you're paying health.
Mm-hmm.
So I just there's so many cool things. Man, Hearthstone, thank you. So many cool things you can do with these cards. I have so many decks I want to make in so little time.
Well, then after you finish that, then you've completed the adventure. You got all the main storyline out of the way. You do end up unlocking 2 more class challenges. One of those is the Rogue, which, let's see, we don't have those cards in here, do we?
Yeah, so you missed 2 cards.
Oh, they're there. The Ethereal Peddler gets opened on this one.
Okay.
And it's a 5-mana, 5/6 minion battle cry. Reduce the cost of cards in your hand from other classes by 2. This does work. I can attest to that. I put this in my stealing deck, and you get all the kinds of different cards in your hand from your opponent, then throw this out there. Yeah, it's nice.
Yes.
And then the other one you open is the Paladin. Is that Paladin or is it Druid? It's Druid. That's right, it's Druid. And you get a 6-mana Moonglade Portal, restore 6 health, summon a random 6-cost minion. Very cool in the Druid deck. By the way, the deck that they give you, you're playing against. Are you playing against Nether Spite? You're playing against Nether Spite in the class challenge, and the deck they give you for Druid is very effective against them, and it's really cool. So
That's nice. I kind of don't like pre-made decks because I'm always like, is this gonna be actually good or not? You know.
yeah,
Two additional cards that were also dropped in the Spire once you finish it are
which are
Malcolm.
because you finished the whole adventure.
Yeah. So once you finish the entire adventure, you get all these cards. But we missed 2. We didn't talk about Malchazar's Imp.
It's Malcheser's Imp.
Malcheser's Imp. So it's a 1-mana Warlock card. It's a demon, 1 attack, 3 health. When you discard a card, draw a card. So this guy and Warlock. Did I say that?
Yep.
Yeah. So again,
It seems
the
a little
mechanic.
cheesy to me.
Yeah, Malcheser. So this again plays off that discard mechanic that Warlock is trying to make work, right?
Yep.
So it
Trying.
might happen. And then we got another card. It's the Ironforge Portal, 5 mana, gain 4 armor, summon a random 4-cost minion.
Yeah, it's
you
a
get that
warrior
spell
card.
also. Yeah. So that's also pretty cool. These portals are really neat. Which I'm going to talk about in a second, right after we mention your favorite card from this wing.
I have to say, for me personally, it is Prince Malcheser.
It's Malcheser. Okay.
Just
How
like-
about you?
You like saying the name, that's all.
Yes, that's why. No, I like the idea of getting the free legendaries. So
Okay.
I picked the Bookworm because I love the card art, really. I mean, I haven't played many of these cards yet, so it's just got such fun card art.
It is pretty cool. He is a studious looking dragon, right?
Yep.
Big hands, small book. I chose Malchazar's Imp. I think this is going to be fun. I love Warlock and I love demons, so this guy's going to work well. And I'm gonna try to make a discard Warlock deck. I think I'm going to try to do that. See what happens. So
cool.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Okay.
guess what?
That ends our discussion about the entire adventure.
That's it. That's it. But I'm still excited. I'm still excited because not necessarily because of Karazhan. Obviously, I'm still going to play it. I haven't finished it yet. But I'm also excited because we got to play a really cool Tavern Brawl this week in Espo mode. So, as you guys know, I love it when they do Tavern Brawls with pre-made decks because new players can go ahead, jump right in, and play the same thing that all the pros are playing.
Yep.
They don't have to have a certain collection. They don't have to have a certain number of cards. So this one's called Party Portals. And it says, the Medivas are putting on a special show. And as you know, the Medivas were in Karazhan. So this kind of couples with the Karazhan adventure. And you're the star. Summon minions with various portals to create a most excellent performance. So your deck contains all the portals, which are Firelands, Moonglade, Maelstrom, Silvermoon, and Ironforge, all ranging from 2 to 7 mana. We also have Unstable Portal, which is a mage card. And just because it's a mage... So you have all the portals, which means you're kind of a neutral class. You're playing as the hero Medivh, and you're playing, obviously, against Medivh because it's another player that's doing the same brawl as you are. So you get all these portals, including Unstable Portal, which, as you know, adds a random minion to your hand that costs 3 less. And then you get one more portal that's specific just for this brawl. It's called the Party Portal. And it costs 3 mana, and it says, summon a random party goer. And there are a lot of cool party goers that this thing can summon. We got, I think it actually summons the Medivas, right? And there is the...
I saw 3 different ones, and I don't remember which ones they were.
Which ones are... So they summon 3 that have taunt. All kinds of cool stuff that happens. Of course, you get... you start off the one with these 2... They're not minions, but they look like minions. Vestidius, do you remember these 2? What their names were?
I played that last week. I've done a lot of things since then.
So they do some cool things and just make the encounter neat. Again, they're playing off this kind of like having minions on the board that you play around. So you're only able to have 6 minions on a board at a time because this actually takes up a spot on the board. But very, very cool, and again, just awesome for new players because they got a brand new brawl, and they don't even have to make a deck. They can just jump right in.
So they had the Medivas. They had Wanda Wanderhooves. Her portals cost 1 less. Does not count as a minion. Susie Sizzlesong. Portals cost 1 less. Does not count as a minion. And Mark Moonwalker. Portals cost 1 less.
Yeah, and these aren't they aren't minions, but they look like minions. So they don't have any health, they don't have any attack, and you just play around them. But they give you like an aura effect where your portals cost 1 less. So pretty cool.
Gotcha.
And each player obviously gets one, but they kind of add to the party, because they're in their disco clothes and they're hanging out on your board, just dancing the night away.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. But again, great for new players. So that was Espo mode for this week. So you guys got to play it?
I did.
I did not.
Oh,
I know.
No free pack. Are you?
Sad.
You don't want a free pack of cards?
I do.
All right. So that's it for me.
okay. Well, this week we did get one iTunes review, by the way. It's just casually awesome, and it came from Stitcher. So one of our Stitcher listeners, which is a podcast downloader. If you are using it, you can comment out there. And he said, I've been looking for a casual Hearthstone podcast home and finally found it at LOTI. They explain concepts and insights for newbies in ways that even experienced players will enjoy. Great show.
Aw, shucks. We've done our job.
Thank you so much. And that was from Dakshari. And then no emails.
All right.
We did have a Twitter shout out to none other than the famous Espo. He said that his kindergartners were asked what they did this week or this summer. #Karazhan. and there's a picture one of Espo's kids did apparently that looks an awful lot like a Karazhan party.
So what's up with this, Espo?
Okay, so
I mean,
today,
did they really play Karazhan over the summer?
Okay, so this week in my classroom, I talked to the kids about what they did this summer, and I'm still trying to get to know the kids. Obviously, I know, all the first graders, second graders, third graders, fourth and fifth, because they were in the school last year. But there are still new kids in the classroom coming from other schools, and our kindergartners are all new. So this week I spend telling them, hey, this is your summer, what did you do? And I give them, we have a 45-minute class. So for 25 minutes, I let them draw and color what they did this summer. And then for the last 20 minutes of class, I sit up at the front of the room and they come up and I hold up their picture and they tell the class about their picture and they tell them what they did. So it gives them a chance to kind of introduce themselves to me and the class, and it gives me a chance to kind of get to know them, to make that personal connection again. So this young lady, she had something going on. So I'm walking around the room, and I'm watching what they're doing, I'm watching what they're coloring, and she started with this blue section down in the corner and had these three people. And I'm like, oh, what's going on there? Well, they're in a hot tub. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I come back around, and there's this lady dancing in a disco ball. And I'm like, whoa, okay, disco ball, hot tub, all right, And then she starts drawing, like, these two people that are, like, kissing. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? She goes, oh, that's my aunt and uncle. They're in love. And I'm like, wait a second. Hot tub, disco ball, dancing, and two people that are in love? I'm like, what is going on here? So she finishes it out, and the picture, I mean, it's, and I asked her at one point, because she drew people dancing and people partying and a cake, and I said, so who's this? She said, oh, that lady's a witch. And I was like, what is going on? Like, you were drawing, did you play Karazhan? Like, and I think I had mentioned it, and she's like, what, Mr. Espo? Never mind, just go. So anyway, so I said, you know what, I got to take a picture of this. So I said, put everybody pass up your papers. So they left the classroom, and I quickly got it out, set it out, took a picture of it, and I posted it on Twitter. And, Squishy had said, I said, at LOTI podcast, at Play Hearthstone, and I tweeted at Yongwoo because I know he would appreciate it, because he appreciates, children playing Hearthstone. So I thought, well, you know what, he'll appreciate my kids drawing about what I thought was Karazhan. So, I tweeted out to him, and of course he tweeted right back, hashtag adorable. So shout out to my student who drew a picture of what I thought was partying down at Karazhan.
Hey, it makes sense to me.
Right?
That's hilarious. What's even funnier is that there was a witch in there. It's like,
Right?
you want to know what
kind
happened.
of party was she at?
So
Did she really dress up as a witch?
Did you put it up on the stream?
Oh, I forgot. No, I'll do that right.
Yeah. So we'll have it in the show notes too for you guys to see. It's incredible though. I mean, it's if you kind of have to look at it with kind of a loose eye, I guess. Kind of thinking about it. But if Maiden had been in this, I would definitely say, I'd be like, oh, that's definitely, because the princess that's dancing next to the crystal ball looks like Maiden, because she's really big and she's like gold. Yeah, very, very cool. But I just, oh my goodness. But yeah, that's definitely, usually I don't agree with Twitter shout outs to me, but Squishy, you did it, so thank you.
And it's got some good amount of purple in there, which fits the Karazhan theme color, kind of. So
That's true.
They nailed it.
for having not played Karazhan, she did an awfully good drawing of Karazhan.
For not even knowing what Karazhan is, she did a good job. How about a Facebook shout out? Did you get one of those
this week? I had to shout out Ringo OSU. He said on Facebook, by the way, there was an earthquake this week, Saturday, in Oklahoma, and it was felt by like 7 states, including in the Texas area. And we didn't feel it, but neighbors did that are in the area here felt a little rumble too.
Apparently, we had a force field around our house.
Apparently so. But he said, had a new Hearthstone experience Saturday. Ever played Hearthstone during a 5.6 earthquake? The cats ran for cover, but I finished off that warlock. Had a bunch of stuff fall off the shelves. Did any of you feel it? But I just love the
Wow.
fact that he finished off the warlock first before
Yeah.
worrying about the earthquake and let the things fall off the shelf.
It's like, there's an earthquake! Get it! Everybody out of the house! Hold on, one more move!
That's crazy.
But anyways, it's been a little bit of a talk of the area because of all the unexpected ground shaking that's happening. So, but anyways, that's it for this week. Lots of good stuff. Next week I don't know what we're going to talk about. More Hearthstone probably, but
What?
Well,
We're gonna
not
talk about
probably.
Hearthstone.
Not probably. That's a definite.
yeah. But the question is, what about it?
Oh my goodness.
I
We'll
think-
talk about how awesome it is.
Well, what I mean is, what's going to be happening? Is there going to be new news? Are we going to be digging into some of the different decks that we have out there? I don't know. We'll talk about that. But if you have any ideas, send us suggestions on Twitter at LOTI Podcast and at XCMTV Gamer, or go to the post itself on the website at legendoftheinnkeeper.com and post in the comments or send us an email. Info at legendoftheinnkeeper.com.
If you don't, it will be a mystery week.
That's right.
Mystery meat.
Mystery
What?
meat. Yes. That's from wow. I get that all the time.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Fun stuff. Anyways, have a good week, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Good job, team.
Good job. That went
Awesome.
well.
I think so too. Let me be right back. I'm going to take a 5-second break.
Okay.
Counting.
You better run.
He's late.
Start counting up. See how long it took. Oh, that was good. I didn't start yawning until the end, so that's always good too. I think I had some caffeine earlier. I need to remember to have some caffeine before the show. That's what I should do. It's like drink a whole thing of caffeine. Are you timing him? The countdown till this week gets back. We're so literal on this show. Oh look, you got a message. There you
He'll
go.
come back and be like, what in the world? You're muted.
I apologize.
There you are.
There you go.
Are you back now?
I am back.
Actually, add 10 seconds because I had to figure out where my
It's
phone
figure-
was and then
time
launch
was
the
taken.
app and all that stuff. So, okay.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, good show tonight. That was cool.
Yep.
Now I just have to finish Karazhan.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I got to work tomorrow morning from 4 to 6. We're getting a truckload of bicycles
Morning?
in. Yeah, I work.
That's not morning.
Yeah.
That's late at night.
So I got to
Morning
work 4 to
starts at
6.
like 8:30.
Then I got to teach all day and then go back to work and build the bikes.
Good grief.
Yeah, it won't be grief. It'll be fun. Gotta make the money. Our house is expensive.
Yeah.
But so
Well, that's
are we
what
still
happens
live?
when you. Yeah, we are.
Awesome.
What?
Thanks everybody for hanging out. Appreciate it. I tried to keep track of Twitch a little bit better than I usually do.
Well, if you had it open, which I'm pretty sure you did,
Yeah.
you did a good job this week.
Oh.
It didn't distract you that much.
Well, and how was my internet? Did I sound like a robot?
Only
Not really.
once.
Yeah,
There was
only
one
once.
time when you went a little funky. But this week, for some reason, it's actually really good. All of it has been really good.
Good.
I love Zeroshio's comment saying, we were talking about the ESPO experience. He said, experience.
The experience. How about the episode?
Episode.
So last week and this week I'm still introducing myself and I'm like, now remember kids, I'm not Mr. Episode, I'm not Mr. Espotato, I'm not Mr. Expo.
Espo.
Yeah, I'm Espo. But, yep.
And how many of them start calling you whatever they can possibly think of besides Espo?
Yeah, I still get a lot of expos. I still get a lot of espotatoes. Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Espositors.
Yeah, Mr. Espotato.
I got to try that.
We have a ESL teacher, English second language teacher. His name is Mr. Espinoza, and we have a new teacher that calls me Mr. Espinoza, and I'm like, no,
No, wrong one.
not even close. Nice try though. So
Well, it is fairly close. You gotta admit.
Well, it's funny. Last week when there was, or the week before last when there was that flooding in Louisiana, one of the news stations. Well, this is for Espo, so one of the news stations was going around through an area, and they came across this guy whose house had just been flooded out completely, and he's like, I'm just really thankful that nobody was injured. It's replaceable. We're cool. And they put his name at the bottom as Mr. Esposito.
whoa,
I was like, whoa, is this family? You might want to know.
I know, right?
So you don't see those very often.
No, you don't see Esposito. Well, up north you do. In the Northeast, a lot of Espositos around there.
Okay, Espo's yawning. I think we need to go.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Make me yawn.
No, no yawning. We all know
I've been up.
sleep is
Sorry,
just-
yawn when we need her.
What is it? It's 9:30 right now. I've been up since 3:30.
That's ridiculous. Go get some sleep, Espo. Dream about Hearthstone.
Good night, guys. See you later.
Thanks, Twitch.
Thanks for coming.